Okay, school board, we are live, we are recording, phone lines are open, go for it.
Good evening. Can I have a motion to open the meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag Thank you very much. I always love it when kids are here because we get a really good version of the pledge, and it's the best. All right, so where am I here? Hang on a second. Turn it over to you.
I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Cuda.
All right.
Good evening, everyone, and I'm not even going to take up too much of your time. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Caitlin Fink, and she is the advisor of our leadership club at John Marshall. And you have a representation of our first leadership council, who's very excited to speak to you this evening. Okay. Thank you for having us this evening. The Leadership Council, the fifth grade leaders, are so excited to be here. I have to say this group of students really blew us away this year with all of their amazing ideas. And I really think that they all share a common passion for improving our school community. I didn't help them at all with anything they had to say tonight. It really is truly from the heart. So I'm excited for them to share their thoughts. Great.
Good evening. My name is Britt Tupper, and I'm a 5th grade Leadership Council member. We would like to thank the Board of Education for giving us the opportunity to have a voice in the decisions and changes made at our school. We appreciate this opportunity and plan to make the most of our time together on the council. The Leadership Council is a group of students who get together to make our school a better place. Together, we come up with great ideas to help others. During the council, we each created a video application that represented who we are as leaders. We all had to dig deep inside ourselves to describe the qualities that make us great leaders. Throughout our day, we all try to help others in any way we can. To be a good leader, you have to have integrity and get out of your comfort zone. The experience of being on the Leadership Council so far is amazing. We have 4 jobs in the morning: Boston Fan, morning greeter, morning announcements, and breakfast monitor. I hope to gain the responsibility of being a leader on this council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Taylor, and ever since kindergarten, my experience of school was great. I'm so happy that I got chosen for leadership because I have a word and things that I wouldn't have gotten without leadership. The first time I came to JMMES, it was great. I was scared that I wouldn't make any friends, but now I've made so many. My goals for this year are to get out of my comfort zone and work harder. I also want to get more commitment to my work and know that I actually want what I work for. My experience at JMMES has been great and has taught me so many things. My name is Liddy. The most meaningful thing that had happened to me in my experience through John Marshall Elementary School was the play. I really enjoyed being a part of the Dr. Dolittle play last year. I really appreciated that the school offers a theater program. I love being up on the stage. It gave me a lot of confidence and courage to speak in front of others. I look forward to being in the play again this year. I've changed through my years at John Marshall by learning to make meaningful friendships and good decisions. My goals for the remainder of this year are to try to improve my handwriting skills, to try and get a leading role in the school play, and accomplish being an amazing leader inside and outside of school. Thank you. Hi, my name is Lily Lemonius. My most meaningful part of my experience at school has been seeing people being happy. It has been one of the best experiences of learning to choose kind and think of others. This is my last year in JMMES, and I have learned and accomplished so much over the past. I have changed a lot since I've been in this school. When I was little, I used to be very shy, but my friends helped me out, and I'm not afraid to say hello to someone that I don't know. I now talk a lot to my friends and love doing things in front of big audiences. Last year, I was introduced to acting, which I have been doing for about a year now. JMMES has helped me find out a little more about what I would like to do with my life when I'm older. A few of my goals are helping out a lot in the Leadership Council and helping the school become a better place. I will also try to get better at art, do some more plays, get better at softball, and help my friends as much as possible. I'm so happy to be in 5th grade, and I love my teachers. As I go into middle school, I will miss the school I'm in now, but JMMES will always be a part of me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lucas. John and Marshall has changed in many ways in the years I've been here. An example would be the Reading Rockstars. This program encourages students to read more often. Reading expands a students' vocabulary and their understanding of words and phrases. I appreciate the Board of Education for giving us these opportunities. Programs like these will help students develop a love of reading.
Hi, my name is Faye. The most meaningful part of my experience at school was that teachers paid attention to my interests and what I had to say about them. Like if I told them I have a show, they might ask me when it is and where it is. I feel like I have changed since I arrived at JMMES by making more friends. Like basically the only person I knew really was my friend Maddie in kindergarten. But now I have a whole bunch of friends and I'm in 5th grade. Some of my goals for the remainder of the year are to be the best leader I can when I'm in leadership. Another goal is to have the best year I can because it's my last year at JMMES. The last goal I have for this year is to finish one of our ideas in leadership so I can make our school a better place. Thank you. Hi, my name is Kaylin. And when I first put my foot in the school, I was scared, but I realized that these strangers that I now call my best friends were there waiting for me at the door. I'm so thankful for the teachers who taught me, like Mr. Pierce, Mrs. Dean, and Mr. Tupper. I love all of my teachers because they have helped me move on and talk. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on the board. I love my school and I'm thankful for the opportunity to be on leadership. Hi, my name is Blakely, and my most meaningful experience at JMMES is making my best friends of all. All of my friends are so nice, and they make me feel so special. I have changed at JMMES from being very shy to being able to talk to a lot of new people. My goal is to learn more Spanish and to speak more sentences in Spanish, and to make at least one new friend in the school year. It has been such a great experience at JMMES. Thank you. Hi, my name is Soraya. I have been in JMMES for 5 years and I love my experience there. Since this is my last year in this school, I have a couple goals. I love this school so much, and as a leadership member, I want to make this school a better place. To start off, my first goal is to become more friendly and familiar with my teachers and others around me. My second goal is to make others more confident and comfortable around others so they can make friends. I love this school so much and I'll always remember this school as I get home. Thank you. Hi, I'm Robbie. The most meaningful thing to me is getting the 5 Habits Award. It reminds us that we should all be kinder to others. I have changed in my learning because I practiced and improved in math throughout the years. My goals throughout the year are to improve in my writing and making more detailed sentences. Thank you.
That's fantastic. There you guys are great. Thank you.
Can I ask you guys, before I'm going to dismiss all of you, but I just want you to say just to watch this next presentation. I promise it'll be like a few minutes. So it gives me great pleasure. I'm going to turn it over to Sam. We had a group of people who did a very special thing for kids a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to let Sam talk about it.
Sure. So thank you very much. So several Saturdays ago, I was at home and I received a phone call that there had been an issue with one of our school buses on Sunrise Highway. It was the cheerleading team. They were on their way to a football game, and there was some debris in the road, which caused a severe failure of the front tire of the bus. Everybody was fine though, and what I saw when I got to the site of the accident was really so inspiring for me. I think I can speak for Adam as well. I know Colette Kirsch, our transportation director, is here, and these three gentlemen who are here because they helped make sure that everybody was able to go home safe that evening. Beginning with our fabulous bus driver, Rich Conklin, who was able to bring the vehicle to a very safe stop, despite the fact that the front right tire had basically disintegrated in the process of whatever came up and struck it. And then he was with the help of the cheerleading coach, Simone, who's here as well. The students on the bus calm and engaged, and everybody was safe. Made sure all the parents were notified until Joe Freeman and Anthony LaFountain came with a bus to allow the kids to go on to their cheerleading activity. And then I watched really something truly amazing between Joel and Anthony. They jacked up the bus sitting right there on the side of Sunrise Highway. Anthony was able to get the tire off of the axle. The treads of the tire and the belting in it have basically wrapped around the axle in such a way that really it's likely the bus didn't flip when it came to a stop. But the two of them were really very efficient and brave. I mean, Anthony crawled under the bus on the side of Sunrise Highway. I was afraid to be standing there, but really, I'll quote Colette. This is what they train for in the transportation department all the time. And so while it was certainly amazing to me, I think it was just par for the course of the kind of wonderful stuff that our transportation department does. And I want to thank the three of you and Simone and Colette for everything that you did that day to make sure that our cheerleading team was able to get to the game. We got there by the third quarter, and we still made it. And everybody was able to get home safely that evening. So we have some certificates of appreciation for the three of you for everything you did. And thank you guys. We're also mentioning the brothers here in the goal and Rich are modeling our brand new transportation. With Anthony also has one as well, but here you go. Oh, sorry, here you go. I'm gonna have to get for it. And superintendent, thank you very much for everything.
Thank you, guys.
Sounds like teamwork.
Yeah.
Honestly, thank you guys very much.
Thank you. And now, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you. I just wanted everybody.
Thank you very much for staying.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good night. Fantastic job.
Do your homework, kids. Thank you, sir.
Right after we go.
Really high.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, I can't wait to see them in sixth grade.
I almost said something. He's ready. He's ready. It's really cool.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to loop around. I just want to go to new business because we're going to get done with our presentations. But the first thing that's on new business was regarding security and safety. And I wanted to just make a statement regarding the kind of swatting issues that have been going on through Suffolk County. This happened last week. It continues to happen. It happened to a neighboring district. Basically unsubstantiated and non-credible threats. I just wanted to reassure the community that when decisions are made regarding credibility and non-credibility, they are made in conjunction with our two police departments. We have already debriefed multiple times over these incidents and what we could do if this should hit our school district. Again, these discussions are ongoing. I know I've said it here before, but the relationships between the village police and the East Hampton Town Police are incredible. It's a great relationship. I know the principals feel the same way. I do. The responsive nature of our departments, and I just wanted to reassure the community that as we if we have to evacuate, if we don't have to evacuate, we'll do our best communication wise. We know we are making those decisions hand in hand with law enforcement. As smooth as I think they're all going to go, there's definitely going to be bumps in the road, but our number one priority is safety and security of the children and ultimately returning them home on unforeseen evacuations. I want to say that. The next thing, new business, I just wanted to have Sam, we talked about the energy performance contract and just do a brief overview for the board on what an energy performance contract was.
Okay, thank you very much. So we're here to have the first of what could be the only or many discussions about an energy performance contract, depending on what the board's reception to this is. So an energy performance contract is a way to allow municipalities to make improvements to infrastructure at what is a budget neutral way. So essentially what happens is that the improvements that you're making are designed to save you energy. The energy savings then is used to pay for the improvements that you made. So at the end of the time period, which ranges between 15 and 18 years, you are at net zero. That's essentially how the project is designed.
Which is exactly what we already have. We have an EPC for the solar projects that we have on our,
There we go. Yes, that's a wonderful preview and transition to our next slide. So the district already has an existing EPC. It was $4.656 million. It was put in place and fully operational in 2020. We have 633 kilowatts worth of kilowatts worth of solar panels on the roofs of the 3 schools. Among other things that it did, and it revamped lighting controls to make things turn off when we weren't there, to shut down certain machines that weren't being used. Weatherization improvements, so certain doors and certain windows had weather stripping or other sorts of barriers to help keep the heat in and the cold out. And then also insulation on heating pipe and heating piping and valves. So all those things put together with things that needed to be done, except for the solar panels, but the solar panels generate so much electricity for the district that we're able to reduce our energy costs for power, and it goes to pay for all those other things. So it's basically a give and exchange.
Right.
All right.
Right.
So we've talked about what's next. Well, we know that, for example, the middle school needs new windows and doors. We know it has to happen. We know that some serious upgrades to the boilers are needed at John Marshall. So how could we're gonna have to pay for this one way or another. How could we offset the cost of paying for this? Well, either we're gonna have to borrow money to pay for it because it's going to happen, or could we, for example, install solar carports at the high school parking lot here where we have a significant amount of space in order to have the offset that you need in an energy performance contract? So what are solar carports? I have some examples of other municipalities here that have done them. On the left is Smithtown Central School District, and on the right is South Huntington. There are lots of other examples elsewhere. Eastport South Manor has a major one that's being installed right now. But basically what it is a series of canopies that sit over the parking lot that cars park underneath. There's plenty of clearance. They're about 15 feet high, so you can't reach it. And they're covered in solar panels, which generate electricity for our needs. And you can see that the State Education Department, this is taken from the South Huntington website, is looking for districts to look for ways to improve programs and save energy. I'm hearing a lot of positive feedback from my colleagues in other districts about how these things work. Among the positives, of course, is that you're generating power from the sun. You're also protecting your parking lot because you're keeping the sun off of it from beating on it because the sun is beating on the solar panels. So,
and your cars.
and the cars as well. So what are the next steps? So any EPC requires a lot of energy calculations by specialists, engineers, and architects who specialize in these things. And any improvements undertaken have to meet the district's standards for appropriateness in the community. I know that we're talking about change in the look of the front of the building, which is important. And it's important for the community to be involved in that. So for example, I have here that the solar carports have to fit the aesthetic of Long Lane. If we change the windows in the middle school, they need to be windows that are appropriate for a building of its age and design. It's not like you're gonna put a modern window in a building that was built almost 100 years ago. These things have to fit. So it's a matter of design and balance to make sure that you can find fixtures and improvements that meet our aesthetic needs here in East Hampton. So if the board is interested in pursuing this, well, if the board is not, then this is the end of the story. If the board is interested in pursuing this, though, you can ask us to work with the district architect to begin the process of how this would go. We've already had a preliminary conversation with a local community leader who is involved with the aesthetic look of the district, of the community, about how that would be. Obviously, I think that, and it was her suggestion that anything that we were to build in front of the high school here could be tempered by installation of trees on Long Lane in front of the high school to help improve the greenery. Obviously, all that stuff has to be
I
decided.
think the bottom line in that discussion was the school in itself is not something pretty to look at. Our school, I mean, it is a nice school, but it's not just this beautiful aesthetic. It's not the middle school.
It's not the middle school.
It's not the middle school.
It's built in 1970 and it's.
Yeah, it's boxy. So if you're gonna put these in and where we put them and how many we put them, it would be nice to add trees along Long Lane. I mean, I don't see that as, if that's what the community wants and the board wants, I don't see that as something that's a bad thing. I like, that would be great to put.
It's costly.
Yeah, it's gonna be, yeah.
And that would be part of the calculation,
That would
right?
be-
It all has to balance out.
Like I said,
So-
have to balance it.
Yep,
It all
yep.
has to balance out, and that's part of the engineering that I'm talking about here. So it would have to be, what are the costs of putting in windows in the middle school and doors? What is the cost of the boiler boiler system needs to go in John Marshall? What is the cost of building these solar carports? What does that balance out in terms of the energy savings?
Right.
Unfortunately, a
Is
lot
there
of
enough to cover it?
is there enough? to
Yeah.
cover?
Right,
You know,
right.
A lot of the windows at the middle school leak badly. I mean, it's the age of the building. It's a fact of life that stuff deteriorates. The system at John Marshall is not efficient. It's old. It doesn't adequately heat the building. I know we went through this problem several years ago. What kind of energy can we talk about saving? And there are certainly other ideas that I haven't gotten to here. This is just one. And that's one of the things that the experts are going to be able to tell us. They may do the calculations and say there's no way to balance it. I hope that we'll be able to find a way. Other districts are finding it, as you can see. And, you know, at least we want to explore the
You're
idea.
seeing more and more of these pop up all over the place.
Right.
Mhm.
And the truth is, we have a wide open front parking lot. It's really perfect for it. And I think that there's two sides to it. It can make a lot of energy and there'll be people that don't like it. So I would like for people to say, hey, listen, what do you want? Do you want a bill and, you know, us to use more electricity? Or do you want to drive by the high school once a day or a week and you look and you don't like it? I don't know, but I'd like to hear what the public has to say.
I think so
mean,
too.
you know,
Hear what they have to say.
Yeah, because I think this could go either way.
I know the
you
right
know?
decision. I just don't know what, you know, it's, we've got to keep the aesthetics to.
Right.
It could go either way.
Yeah.
And as part of that analysis, as you do it, I just want to stress that the windows, the boiler, other things.
They're
need to
getting
happen.
done no matter
They
what.
have to happen
Right.
one way or
Have to
another.
happen.
And
Right.
so
And sooner
this is
than
a way
later.
to
Yes.
balance that out and not have to pay for it,
Right.
because it balances out with the energy savings.
And
Yeah, I think when we look,
It's legitimate trial.
and just for the boards, for clarity for the board, when the next meeting, I think we're gonna start talking bond issues. Our bond our debt is expiring. We're looking 4 years. We're starting the planning process.
Right.
These things would have to be incorporated in that bond. And we already know, like, if we're going to the community for a bond vote, we're trying to keep those numbers obviously as low as possible. Times have changed. This bond was, I think, approximately 78 million for the school. Like, if you look at that in today's money, I think it's a lot more. So if we could kind of offset it by doing something like this, but I agree
Right.
that I would definitely want community input. I don't want to build something out front, that's gonna make people like,
Right.
turn against what we're trying to do here.
We don't want to
Right.
No,
upset the overall support. We have
Yeah.
great support from the community. I wouldn't want somebody to be, I mean, from a monetary standpoint, it's a no-brainer. Put
Right.
solar panels on every square inch that you can, and that would make a lot of sense, but I don't think everybody's gonna support that.
Yeah, I mean, it is East Hampton and aesthetics are really
Yep.
important to a lot of people, so I think we just put it out there to the community and see what the response is.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think it could go either way. People are,
Good.
I think
Love it or
it's
hate
a
it.
terrific idea.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
another way of, what we just did a whole situation where we were repaving, over here at the parking lot, and it's gonna be another way to not only salvage that for a longer amount of time,
Right.
but also people's cars are parked under it and we're getting, energy savings at the same time. So-
Yeah, no, and maybe the balance, we get more solar panels because we put some more trees out there. That might be the answer. I don't know what the cost breakdown is. Maybe plant smaller trees and look at it for a little while, and then the trees get
Yeah,
big and you
the
forget
trees
about
will
it.
go.
Well, I mean, there's ways to do it. I just would like some input. I mean, we
Well,
have.
that might be, the community might say, okay, well, we're okay with it as long as you screen it, you know, like,
Right,
this
right.
can be,
And just remember when we're gonna put the bus garage out front. Just remember that day.
yeah.
I remember that time. So, you know,
That
this is
is
a
true.
lot, so, you know, I mean, there's that, this is not a traffic issue, so it's very different.
Right.
Also, something people will see, you'll see a reduced budget in, if you actually look, I don't know how many people do, but you'll see, you know, Sam will be happy to reduce that line, you know, a few $100,000 would be nice. We use a lot of energy here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot
I do,
of,
and I also point out, you know, from an instructional standpoint, the South Huntington School is incorporating the use of these solar carports in engineering classes
Sure.
and science classes to help bring that, you know,
Yeah.
we are starting that with the panels we have here, but they're a little abstract. We can't
Yeah.
get students on the roof to see them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the ones we have, people don't even know we have them because you can't see them.
Correct.
Which made it
It is,
really,
you know, the students
Right.
come out and there it is.
Sam, how many, are we gonna just do the high school parking lot?
Well,
Like, are they
you know,
smaller ones,
that's a
or
great
they-
question. The bottom line is that an engineer is going to need to come in and see what the offset is. There's a couple of rules. You can't generate more solar power than what you need. The PSE&G will not buy it back. So part of the analysis is what can we generate versus, you know, to make the meter cannot run backwards. So it has to sit right at zero, you know, it can't go lower than zero. What's that going to take? How much of the parking lot would have to be covered to meet the financial offset that you need to have? Maybe we instruct the engineer that, you know, you can't go past X feet from the building, keep it off of Long
and the
Lane.
road.
But maybe the engineer says, I really need to take it all the way to the edge of the parking lot to get the payback that I don't know. Those are
Maybe
all
we don't need to do the teacher's
Right.
lot, maybe we do need to do the teacher's lot.
Right.
I don't think.
Right.
Now, residents can sell their electric to PSE&G, right?
My understanding, and I'm not a, you know, extremely well versed in this. My understanding is that it used to be allowed, but it is no longer allowed. You are only allowed to generate as much as you need and nothing more.
Mhm.
Anything else?
So we,
So we can do it for all 4 buildings, but, you know.
Yes,
if
so
you go-
the way
if
it
it's not
works is whatever we generate
you go to
here,
any property we own.
correct, what we generate here has to not be more than what we use at our 4 locations.
No, I think it's worth looking into. Right?
yes,
Definitely.
So we'll get this, we'll put it up on the website and Carrie, maybe we can leave it in old business, we'll bring it up
Hopefully
again.
Christine Sampson's listening
Yeah.
and she'll
Yeah.
put a nice article in the newspaper.
So that we can-
And people can,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
criticize it or whatever you want to do.
a good way to remind everybody too, that we do have an email address that comes
Yeah.
to the entire board.
Yeah.
Got it?
There you go. See that?
So that if anybody really wants to give their feedback, they can just email it and we'll all see it.
Right, okay.
Definitely.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks.
thank you, Sam.
Dan.
Right.
New school? Good. Sounds
Ms. Smith?
good. Well, Kathy's not here for my shirt either.
I know.
I'm disappointed, just gonna say, but, you know, I wore it for her, but.
Well, Kathy's not here, so that means I can talk about it unless she's listening. But we had a great homecoming. It was a wonderful weekend, despite it being round 2 and despite the rain. So it started with the leadership breakfast for our student association kids. They were in here doing, you know, team building activities with the underclassmen. The dance was great. The kids had a great time and were really well behaved. And then we salvaged the festival thanks to Megan McNish for bringing it into the cafeteria. So a little bit different, but she made it work. So it was great, and it even fit the bouncy house.
That was impressive. That
I know.
was impressive.
Exactly. So, and it was really great because it was a great win for the football team. And I don't know if you saw the article in Newsday for Coach McKee, but really special being that he, of course, couldn't be here. So, so a great weekend. Just to fill you in on something I didn't have a chance to talk to you about last time, we had a wonderful Hispanic Heritage Fair in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. Our World Language Club hosted it on October 13th, and it was really a beautiful event celebrating the richness of the Hispanic culture that we're so lucky to have here in East Hampton. Families made food. Our clubs hosted tables with traditional Hispanic crafts. We had art, so our art club did the Frida Kahlo painting, and then students did the the little ones were able to make the flowers to go around. So, and students performed, and it was really great because those were students who don't always take center stage at our event here. So it was great to see different students have the spotlight and shine. And I just want to give a huge thank you to Andrea Hernandez and Lauren Bennett and the World Language Club, who were who spearheaded all of this and truly made it happen. So it is now an annual event. So I'll let you know ahead of time next time around. So, and then our last big news is we are launching, with the help of Cindy and our life skills program and life skills teachers, our second school store, and the Clam Shack right outside, across from District. And this is in an effort to continue to promote inclusion throughout the building and also meet our students' individual goals on their IEPs, you know, be it communication, be it math with money, budgeting, social skills, organizing, whatever the case may be. So they will be selling small goods, non-taxable, I think. I will be in touch. Their grand opening was last Friday, the 23rd, and I will keep you posted about their store hours, but it's been a really great initiative and they're doing well and enjoying it. So yeah, so that's what's going on.
Thank you. Dr. Soriano.
I did walk right into that.
Hello, everybody. Give your fellow board members the memo about
You know what?
middle school spirit.
It was
week.
just, by osmosis.
Okay. When the four of you walked in, I thought it was a joke. We, what you're
red,
wearing,
orange,
exactly,
orange,
because today you wear red, orange, or yellow for Healthy Spirit Days. If there's no sun, you have to be the sun. I changed my outfit. I was wearing orange today and thought, I'm gonna change up the board meeting. So that kicked off today. So we have our Healthy Spirit Week, which ends with Halloween, and that's Mrs. Tracy and Ms. Bryant do a great job. And for us, it's just a wearable every day. And it's funny because it is middle school, so you'll see a third participate, and the next day you might get a little bit more. But already one of our students, I saw she had an orange on and she had a sweatshirt over it, and she took it off, and obviously someone said something to her, and then all of a sudden the orange was gone and it was only the sweatshirt. And some of the faculty, we were actually reflecting on that today, and that is quintessential middle school. So that's what you should be ready for, because that's what happens. But a lot of the faculty do it, and we all do it as a way to say, hey, it's okay. Like these fifth graders, you have to say your truth and stand up and say who you are, and don't worry what people think. But middle school will provide some downward pressure, and that's just part of developing and growing up, and you get over it. So we don't not do things like that. We purposely do things like that just to keep them challenged and say, hey, I got to try this. And eventually everyone participates in some small way, which is good. So we have that starting today. And then we, just going back a little bit because we didn't have a meeting, we hosted the film festival on the 10th of October for the entire building. And it was really great. It used to be only grade 7 and 8, only because the shorts were a little bit more mature. But because the festival is now using the building and they're leaving their equipment over and graciously allow us to use it, because a lot of it is rented expensive equipment, we may as well have the whole building go. So the teachers and the film festival are really careful about what shorts they do select. And then as a surprise, we added 2 student films. So one of our signature programs, as you probably know from me talking at past meetings, is that all the 7th graders make films. So that's something that 6th graders can look forward to and that 8th graders have done. So when we do the film festival as a building, they've all had an experience in some way. Either they're looking toward it, actually doing it, or have done it. So that becomes a nice focal point for some discussion. And actually, Linda Fuller came this year, who's a retired middle school teacher and also on the board of the Hamptons Film Festival. And she and I emceed the program, and it was great She asked the kids such great questions, had the 8th graders talking about what advice they could give to 7th graders and 6th graders when they do the unit, and it was perfect. Because just asking them, what advice would you give, started with the whole school assembled, all the faculty there. We had so many hands go up about, do this, try this, make sure you proofread. It was really great. So Linda sort of hit it out of the park on that, and I really appreciate it. But our 2 featured filmmakers were Brianna Barrera and Callie Jordan, and they were outstanding, just as good as the UN films that preceded them. So that was a really cool event for the building and great for those kids. And then the last thing I'll share is tomorrow we're hosting the Neo-Political Cowgirls and Kate Muth's group doing the Dreamer in the building, only though for our 8th grade, because it's a little bit more of a mature piece and it matches what Ms. Hazeman and Mr. Ward and Mr. Taylor are doing in grade 8 right now, where the kids are learning Midsummer Night's Dream and they're enacting parts of it. This will be reflective of that because the Dreamer is a takeoff on that Shakespeare play. And that's 2 periods tomorrow in the building, and it should be really fantastic, almost like a master class where the kids are going to be able to ask questions about why did actors do that? Or why did you do this as a director? So it will be very interactive. And again, appropriate just for really for 8th grade. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Will you have your vacation clothes on tomorrow?
I'm working on that. I'm trying to think of how I can make vacation clothes warm enough for the weather tomorrow. So we'll see.
All right.
Hawaiian shirt, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to go.
We're good. I think Karen just wanted to thank Sam for paying the electric bill and, yeah. And, John Marshall the other day.
All right, I think we got circle back to public comment. Do we have any public comments? We on the phone?
We have no public comments on the phone right now. We had one little phone snafu, but we have a new number that's up right now, and everyone online should be seeing it. If they did need to call in or dial in, it's all taken care of.
We'll have another round, that's fine.
It's all right.
The consent agenda, do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Move on to the superintendent's report and recommendations. Number 1, recommend the board approve the first amendment to the employment agreement between East Hampton Union Free School District and Timothy D. Brown, dated October 24th, 2023. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second? Any discussion?
I couldn't be happier. I mean, I think
everybody's.
Very pleased. Tim runs the day-to-day operations of the school district, everything, the dirty work and whatnot. And I think it's my job to keep them in East Hampton. And I don't want them to leave. And just like I feel the same about we have a great team, all of us, and I don't want to see many changes. So I think this keeps them here a little longer. He said 20 more years, right? Yeah.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 2, recommend the board approve the non-instructional appointment of David Allen to the position of auto mechanic 2. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Discussion?
Welcome.
Welcome, local guy. I think everybody here pretty much, if you don't know him, you know who he is. And it's just, it's very nice. Welcome,
Yes.
David.
Yeah, great to have him.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 3, recommend the board approve the following consultant agreements for the 2023-24 school year. And the first one is between the district and Amanda Jones.
Standard stuff.
Yeah, standard. I'm not gonna read them all, the graduation stuff, standard. It's all on the website if you'd like to see it. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 4, recommend the board approve the attached budget transfers for the 2023-24 school year. Have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second? Anything need to be highlighted, Sam? Anything you want to speak on, or is it standard?
It's all salary.
Okay, so it's not additional, it's just within the budget transfers. Anybody from the board have a comment or anything? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 5, recommend the board approve the budgetary line increase for the 2024 school year. Have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second, any discussion? No. So do you want to touch on
That's
that?
just at large, somebody's leaving the district.
Oh, okay, so it's, all right, gotcha, that's what that's for. So it's not an increase, it's a line increase, it's within the budget.
Yep.
All right, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, well, we did old business, we did new business. Back to public comment again. Jason, you have anybody?
No one yet?
All right. We good? Have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
All right.